Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing something strange. No one died overnight. No hospitals announced deaths. No funerals were scheduled. At first, no one panics. In fact, people celebrate. Because in this world, death is no longer a thing. For all of human history, death has been the one certainty. It shaped our religions, our wars, our art, our love. Entire civilizations were built around the simple truth that life ends. But now that truth is gone. Scientists scramble to explain it. Cells no longer decay. Organs regenerate endlessly. Aging stops completely. A 90-year-old becomes biologically frozen in time. Accidents still hurt, but no injury is permanent. The body always heals. Humanity has achieved immortality. Accidentally. At first, the world erupts in joy. Parents realize they'll never lose their children. Couples believe their love will last forever. Diseases that once terrified us, cancer, heart failure, organ decay, simply stop working. But something subtle changes almost immediately. Hospitals don't empty, they overflow, because people still get injured. They still get sick, they just don't die. Patients pile up with bodies unable to fail, trapped in endless recovery. Doctors begin to ask a horrifying question. What does it mean to be alive if you can never die? Governments celebrate publicly, but privately panic begins to spread. Because one number starts climbing faster than any chart in history. Population before immortality, death balanced birth. Every life lost made space for another, but now? Every birth adds to a planet that never subtracts. Cities swell. Apartments become shared by generations that never leave. Retirement disappears because no one ever retires from life. And then comes the first uncomfortable realization. If humans never die, how long before there's no room left? Imagine standing in a city where no one leaves. Streets never empty, homes never free up. The past doesn't fade, it piles up. And humanity hasn't even reached the worst part yet. Because immortality doesn't just change population, it changes everything else. And once the birth rate collides with eternal life, the real nightmare begins. But what happens when the planet itself can't keep up? The population explosion within just 50 years. The consequences become impossible to ignore. Even if birth rates drop dramatically, the math is brutal. Every year adds millions of people with zero subtraction. Humanity becomes a species that only grows. Megacities expand beyond imagination. Skyscrapers stack upon skyscrapers. Underground living becomes the norm. The sky disappears behind concrete and steel. Food becomes the first breaking point. Farming was never designed for infinity. Land is finite, oceans are finite. Even lab-grown food has limits: energy, water, space. Rations begin quietly, then officially. Governments introduce voluntary birth limits. One child per family, then none. But rules don't stop biology or human desire. Black markets for illegal births appear. Underground nurseries, hidden children without legal identity. And then comes the most controversial policy in human history: reproductive licensing. To have a child, you must earn the right. Wealth, status, intelligence all become gatekeepers to reproduction. Society fractures instantly. The immortal rich live comfortably, endlessly. The immortal poor live stacked, compressed, forgotten. And the planet itself starts to fail. Forests vanish, oceans collapse. Animal species go extinct. Not because humans hate nature, but because there's simply no space left. Climate change accelerates beyond repair. Not because of ignorance, but because there are too many humans to sustain. And here's the cruel irony. If humans could still die, this wouldn't happen. Death was never the enemy, it was the balance. Imagine a world where children are rare, but the elderly are endless. Where innovation slows because the old never leave. Where power is hoarded forever. No new leaders, no fresh ideas. The same minds ruling the world for centuries. And eventually people begin asking a forbidden question. Was death necessary? But by now it's too late to go back. Because immortality has locked humanity into a future with no exit. And the planet is starting to push back. What happens when Earth itself becomes unlivable? Without death, society begins to rot. Not collapse suddenly, but decay slowly. Careers become prisons. If you hate your job, imagine doing it for 300 years. Or worse, being stuck without one forever. Purpose erodes. Marriage changes. Love changes. Vows like "till death do us part" become meaningless. Relationships fracture under infinite time. Crime skyrockets. Why fear punishment when life is endless? Prison sentences become absurd. What does life in prison mean when life never ends? Some criminals are locked away permanently, conscious, alive, but forgotten. Eternal punishment replaces execution. And then something darker happens. People stop caring, risk loses meaning, sacrifice feels pointless. If nothing ends, nothing feels urgent, art stagnates. Innovation slows. The same immortal geniuses dominate science and culture for centuries. New voices struggle to exist. Entire generations are born into a world already full of people, of ideas, of power structures they can never change. Revolutions fail because rulers never age out. Tyrants never die, humanity becomes frozen. And then comes the psychological breaking point. The human mind was never built for infinity. Depression becomes universal. Endless life without escape drives many insane. Suicide is attempted but impossible. The body refuses to shut down. People beg for death. And for the first time in history, death becomes the most valuable thing in existence. Rumors spread of places where immortality fails. Black zones, experimental tech. Anything that can end consciousness. A new question dominates humanity. How do we die when death no longer exists? And the answer may be more horrifying than extinction itself. Humanity explores desperate alternatives. One path leads to forced population control. Birth is banned entirely. Humanity becomes a stagnant, immortal species, slowly suffocating in its own permanence. Another path leads to off-world exile. Space colonization accelerates, but space is vast, not infinite. Immortal humans turn planets into crowded mirrors of Earth. A darker path emerges, artificial death. Scientists attempt to reintroduce mortality. Engineered shutdowns, time-limited lives, scheduled endings. Death becomes a service. The rich buy immortality extensions. The poor are assigned expiration dates. A new class system forms, the eternals and the temporary. Rebellion follows. Wars break out, not over land but over the right to die or live forever. Some factions worship death as a lost god. Others defend immortality at any cost. And in the darkest timeline, humanity realizes the final truth. A species that cannot end, cannot evolve. Without death, there is no renewal. No room for change, no escape from mistakes. Immortality doesn't make humans gods. It traps them as prisoners of their own success. In the end, humanity stands at a terrifying crossroads, extinction or eternity. Death once feared is remembered as a gift, a mercy, a reset button that allowed life to continue meaningfully. Without it, existence becomes crowded, heavy, and hollow. The ultimate lesson is brutal. A world without death is not a utopia. It's a slow apocalypse, and maybe the scariest part? We're already chasing immortality today. Longer lives, slower aging. Digital consciousness. AI memory preservation. So the real question isn't what if humans never died. It's what happens when we get too close? Because the line between survival and self-destruction is thinner than we think. And in the next episode, we'll ask an even darker question. What if humans could never sleep?